All right, we're allegedly live. What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Keyboard Warriors. My name's Eddie Law. That's Red Kirby. That's just Rubakava. We are obviously presented by RepTheWarriors.com. Coming off a big combat sports weekend.
You know what?
What?
You know what? That's what it must have been. This event must have just done my heart in. Yep, that's what it must have been. You know what? Honestly, I gotta say this event was actually worth watching. Like it seemed to me. I watched like pretty much most of it this time. It seemed to me like if I had missed this event, I probably would have like kicked myself. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a fun one. What if Greg Hardy was in this card?
I would have just not watched it and been like, oh well.
Really? Mm-hmm. You've missed out on a few cards.
Come on, you know me. You know me. Like I could just delete everything from my brain, and I don't care what happened if like they shot President Trump during the event. It wouldn't have mattered. I would have been like, oh well, I didn't watch it. I ain't watching the replays. I'm good.
Hey, Christ, Jesse. Now we're all being watched. You shouldn't have said that.
Hey, no, time out. No, dude. No, fucking English took care of that years ago.
I'm on a show with two Mexicans and shit. Y'all gonna fuck around and get me shit like that while I'm on here, man.
Yeah, right. Andrew,
pop out a red hat right now.
Whatever. Andrew Reed took care of that shit. Remember years ago? Every time we a couple years ago, every show we finished, he would say that he would yell some shit out. We're like, dude, we're getting watched for sure. Like,
he was a fucking Brit. They knew it. They was taking it seriously. Goddamn, Jesse's a brown American. They ain't playing with you, Jesse.
It ain't playing.
Hey, I didn't say that they should do it. I'm just saying if something like that had happened, I still wouldn't have been like, I still wouldn't have cared.
What did you think of that? Dude walked down, he gets booed, and they try to spin it like he got cheered. Like, bitch, I watched that shit live. He got booed like a motherfucker.
I mean,
no, I don't. I assumed he would get kind of cheered too. Like with fan base, I thought that. Come to find out, most of the guys in the UFC are fucking pro-Trump guys.
Turns out, right?
Keep it a buck. I know that like nobody really wants to talk about politics, and quite frankly, I don't either. But like Jorge Masvidal, fucking Gregor Gillespie, like fucking DW is in the back with them. I mean,
it makes sense though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, Dana White explained at the post-fight presser. He's like, you know what I'm saying? When nobody would fuck with us, Donald Trump showed us love. So like, I kind of get it on his behalf. Like, fuck.
It doesn't bother me.
Not to mention the motherfucker is the president of the United States now. So I mean, shit, like that ain't gonna. That little bit of press ain't hurting the event for sure. So
he was on CNN. They were talking about Donald Trump he's going to be attending a mixed martial arts event this weekend, and I'm like, everyone knows the fuck that is.
Right.
Let's talk about though, like the impact of having a sitting president at a UFC event instead of a boxing event or anything else on that day. Like he could have chosen to do anything else, yet he was there for the event. Like that's pretty big for the sport, right? Like we can all see that, right?
Okay, look. I didn't give two fucks. It didn't bug me, and I wasn't like, oh yeah, we got. I wasn't like, yeah, fuck you, Oscar. Like, oh yeah, you didn't get the president at the Canelo fight. We got the president in New York. I don't give a fuck. It really did not bother me, and I didn't care to like. I wasn't like cheering it. I don't give two shits about the dude. I've said it before. His character sucks, but not
about character or politics though.
No,
just
but
like
even for the sport, like it's huge for the sport. It doesn't fucking matter either. It really doesn't. Presidents go to fucking baseball games all the time, and no one gives a shit. He got booed at the Washington Nationals, the home game where they lost, but he got booed in Washington D.C., bro. No one gives a fuck. No one cares.
Okay, I get that because baseball is a national sport, but don't you think it's big being the fact that this sport being like, just a few years ago calling, human cockfighting, and now the sitting president is at the event. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. It kind of gives an air of, that the UFC is more mainstream.
I mean, like Eddie said, they was talking about it on CNN. So clearly it's a thing. You know what I mean? It's a big, it makes mainstream waves.
Right. So I'll tell you who cared. Okay. The people on the CNNs and the MSNBCs, the lefties of the world were like, oh, he went to a fucking human cockfighting event. They wouldn't even call it the UFC. They would call it mixed martial arts. The other side, the Republicans that are big fans of Trump, were just like, fuck yeah, he's going to the UFC. Fuck yeah, MAGA, let me wear my red hat. Those are the only two. People that were watching the fights didn't get two shits. Like, tell me anybody, like when he walked out on TV, they stood up in front of the television and were just like, oh, it's the president. Like, no one gives a fuck, dude. Like, straight up, no one cares. All right, let's see. Hold up. What's up, Tony? Tony says, as a New Yorker, I can assure you, not a lot of Trump fans here in the city. Well, yeah, it's at the blue city, the blue state.
Yeah, I just meant as MMA fans in general.
Yeah, I honestly,
little rednecky in the fan base, you know.
Yeah. Did you see Michael Rappaport was a few seats away and he was just on his Instagram just trashing him the whole time?
Yeah, that's great. Wild, right? Like Michael Rappaport's there, and Dana White brought that up too. He's like, I'm friends with Michael Rappaport. He's here. He hates Donald Trump like more than anybody. So it is what it is. I guess that is kind of a good. I mean, listen. Again, I don't want to fucking make this a political thing, and I'm damn sure am not trying to big up Trump in any way, but goddamn it, you gotta call a spade a spade. It is kind of cool that motherfucker went to the baddest motherfucker belt. Like that, like it is kind of fucking cool. Like, look, real talk. If that was Obama, it would have been lit. Now, not saying that I like Trump. People, this is what's so wild about this shit. Like, you can't say anything like this. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way, you get fucked. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the idea that the sitting president was at the crowning of the baddest motherfucker, as opposed to, let's just call a spade, the Canelo fight, where he's supposedly the biggest star in boxing, the clean sport. Like, President Trump's funny pale ass could have been out there. So yeah, it was cool. I do agree with you, Eddie. It didn't really mean a whole lot for us. It ain't like MMA Twitter was blowing up over the fact like you had motherfuckers that didn't like him that were like fuck him being there, and then you had the pro motherfuckers like that's cool, it's a big deal. At the end of the day, who really gave too much of a shit?
Yeah, and my favorite thing is he was going to watch the main event where Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal were fighting. This dude probably thought, let's put a wall around the cage right now just in case. What the fuck?
But you know what? But look though. We need to get off this because we're going to dwell on it.
We'll get too crazy.
But you know what though? He was there to see them.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think he had any idea that he was there to see them, but he was there to see them.
I think he did though. Like,
I don't think so, dude. Bro. He didn't say 2 words about it.
Nah, but he was hosting UFC events 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
You know, but I'm saying though, I think he has a clue, man. I think I do. Would you think he came there for the publicity? Like, it could have.
Oh yeah, that dude. Come on, you telling me the guy that stays up 24 hours a day on all kinds of pills and Adderall and fucking Vyvanse and everything, and tweets fucking like 15 tweets a second, wouldn't have said like, I'm over here watching Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal, blah blah blah. He didn't say a fucking word about it. Nothing. He didn't say a word. He didn't know what he was doing. I'm telling you, dude. He did not know. He said, "Hey, Trump's TV. There's cameras over here. Come sit down." He had no clue. He had no clue. He had no clue, dude. He had no idea what he was doing there.
Look, Eddie. I think you're selling them short on the fact that he didn't know what he was doing there. Wait. I am about to do something that I should probably not do ever my entire life, but I'm going to defend that he was there to actually support his friend Dana White, and he knew what he was there for. I honestly think that he knew what he was there for, because also you got to remember that his sons were also there for the Colby Covington thing. So he has at least a side bit of knowledge about what's going on in the sport, who is like, champion his campaign and all that stuff. At least he knows the people that are saying his name and who he's there, like, who he's probably in the back shaking hands and meeting people and stuff that want to meet him.
Real talk too, like to keep the conversation on this, but to blow it outside the political bubble and to just put a positive spin on it, so it ain't gotta be this fucking big argument.
Right.
It was cool. Like,
it was all right.
He got booed, but everybody got to come together and watch the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, everybody came to watch the fights. It ended on a fucking sour note, but like nothing bad happened. And it was one of those where, like, this was one of those moments where sports really does kind of overcome that other shit. Like, again, they booed, but they didn't keep booing. They didn't, like, he wasn't the focal point. When motherfucking Jorge Masvidal was walking out that cage, didn't nobody care that Trump was there no more.
Right.
Like, like Michael Rappaport is right next to him. And in that moment, he's probably like, all right, whatever, motherfucker. Like we all are about to enjoy this spectacle together. Even if I don't like you and you 2 seats down, we about to watch this shit. Like, so that was kind of cool. It was one of those rare moments where it's like we all show up and we know it's some motherfucking smoke in this building, Jack. A whole bunch of us don't like each other, but goddamn it, this thing here that we're coming to look at is bigger than all that. And
for sure,
sports is it's rare that sports is actually able to do that, to overcome the politics, at least for those brief moments. Now, as soon as the fight's over, it's like, yeah, fuck you. But in those small moments, it's like, we got to put all this to the side and watch these fights.
And Eddie, the other thing is, like you said, he didn't tweet about it. He didn't say anything about it. And he also didn't say anything negative about it, right? He could have trashed the main event and said, oh, it ended in, a bad fashion. He could have trashed it, right? Like, it could have been good or bad. And it didn't go either way. Like Fred said, everybody was there to watch the event. It's that type of thing where, like I said, it's one of those things that I think that the UFC is always going to look back upon and say, we had the sitting president at our 500th event, like, it's just one of those things. Yeah, you say it's like pretty normal for them to go to events and stuff, but for a president to go to a UFC event, I think that's something that says something about the sport.
Yo, something just hit me, right? So Jorge and Colby are both public Trump supporters. There's a really good chance that we see that fight next.
Yep.
Who is Donald Trump going to publicly support in that fight?
The MAGA hat wearing motherfucker. That's who.
It's going to be the white guy, isn't it? Goddamn racist cocksuckers. And there's no fucking reason for it at that point, but he's going to pick Colby. All right, listen. Let's get to it. Main event. The fucking fight. Don't look. I picked Nate going into the fight.
Yep, me too.
I thought he would have better boxing. I thought that he would wear Jorge down. Look, fucking go figure. I don't know fuck all about what I'm talking about. Jorge looked fast as fuck. His boxing was better than Nate's. I think we probably all agree. There ain't even no sense of me asking you. Nobody agrees with the fight. Jesus will probably be a cunt.
Oh, he does. No, Jesse does. We got into it.
I fucking hate Jesse.
We got into it.
The goddamn fight absolutely should not have been stopped. Goddamn Nate's face has been falling. Now, but here's the thing that makes this whole thing interesting, right? Should the fight have been stopped? In my fucking opinion, and I think most people's opinion, of course not. We've seen fucking Nate's face laid open like that. Literally, I've seen the meme, and it's literally the Anthony Pettis fight.
Yeah,
same cut.
That bullshit, dude. Wait.
But, yeah. Fuck off. It's the exact same cut, you cute cocksucker.
That's not.
It's the same damn cut.
Keep talking.
Okay. But anyways, here's the thing, though. Nate was not going to come back and win that fight.
No, not by points. No.
So, like, Jorge was not the problem with any of that mattering is Jorge was not slowing down. He was winning all those exchanges. I seen nothing in the. And again, this is coming from somebody who picked Nate, who thought he would win, who even thought that maybe that would be the strategy he would use to win. But judging from the first 3 rounds and what Jorge looked like going into the 4th, I can't sit up here with a good conscience and say that Nate was about to pour it on. I mean, fucking come on, man. He was just outgunned. The next 2 rounds, we're going to go pretty much, I'm assuming, how them first 3. I don't think he would have finished Nate because Nate's just a dog, but Nate would have just looked like fucking minced up hamburger meat. That same shit was going to keep going on. Clearly, that night, Jorge had Nate's number. He was just, it reminded me of Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier. Like, Nate was hitting Jorge.
He wasn't hurting him.
When Jorge would hit Nate, his fucking face would get up. It was a lot like when Dustin would hit Max. You've seen it. Like, Max was hitting Dustin Poirier, but it wasn't having the same effect. I felt like that was exactly the same thing. Like, Nate would kind of get off on Jorge, but he would just eat him, and his face wouldn't. He wouldn't bleed and shit. But then Jorge would sting Nate, and his fucking face would open up, and Nate takes it, but it's like, God damn, that shit. You could tell it fucking hurt. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. I do not think the fight should have been stopped, but for all the good it would have done Nate to keep it going, he probably lived to fight another day and not get that eye laid open any more than it already was.
All right, go ahead, Jesse. Jesse bailed.
Oh shit. Jesse couldn't take the heat. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Go on and lead, goddammit. You understand me? Go on and lead.
He'll be back. Everyone in the comment section, let us know what you think. Should the fight have been stopped or not? I agree it shouldn't have been stopped. To me, it looked like the exact same damn cut he gets every fucking fight. The only difference is he had that little one under the eye, right?
Which does not matter. It's not.
It doesn't.
That's not disrupting the fight or his vision or nothing. It's goofy. Stop it. The fight definitely should have been stopped.
Yeah, so I mean, the fight should not have been stopped. All right, look, I'll tell you what. Jorge was every time Jorge landed on Nate, he caused a dent.
Yeah.
Every single time he hit him. When he was throwing those overhand lefts, he was throwing them like he was fucking angry at the dude. He was landing to the body, kicks to the body, shots to the body, all that kind of shit. Anytime Jorge landed, he was landing hammers on Nate. So Nate was getting fucked up those first 2 rounds. The third round, in my opinion, Nate was doing a little better, but he didn't win that round by any stretch of the imagination. And it was a rough watch for the first 3 rounds. When they called it, the reason it bugs me is not because I'm like, oh, Nate was winning or Nate had a chance to win by points. It says that if you know Nate, he has the ability to finish a fight. And the last 2 rounds, those are the Diaz rounds. I mean, there's just for every single Diaz, Nick or Nate, mostly Nate, but for the Diaz rounds, so the 4 or 5 are always his or theirs, right? So that's usually when they do their best. And we didn't get to see it. And that's the part that sucks. Now, if it went by points, if he didn't finish Jorge, would he have won? No. Jorge had that shit like nice and tied with a nice little pretty little bow at the end of the third. But it just sucks to not get a chance to see Nate have a chance to do something in those 4th and 5th rounds, right? But like I understand what people are saying. First of all, it's fucked up that people were like they were like sending threatening calls and tweets and fucking shit at that doctor. That was fucked up. Like
going to his what is it? His family practice and like putting 1 star and like saying he's a terrible person and all this stuff, death threats.
Yeah, I mean, people that do that are assholes, straight up. Like
my name represents how I feel about that fucking doctor. But that being said, yeah, no, easy with the fucking death threats and
what the fuck
with the man's practice. I mean, he was to keep it a buck. I really don't even feel like it was him. I feel it's like that New York State Athletic Commission. Like they just, it's always
it was a doctor.
I know, but I feel like
he's part of them though. He represents what the fuck?
Okay, wait. Okay, give me a chance here. Give me a chance. I understand how you guys are such stands for this fight,
my God.
And you guys wanted it to continue, but you guys gotta understand. And this is the point that I was arguing with Eddie on Monday, is that Eddie was saying if it's a BMF title and you're trying to crown the baddest, then you got to let them finish. And my point is, if that's what you want, then just go out in the parking lot and fight. Go into the backyard and fight. Because in a sanctioned fight, you have rules and regulations. And when someone gets cut deep enough to where the skin is flapping over their eye and they can't see out of their eye, you've got to cut above the eye and 1 under the eye. All right? That's a dangerous cut. And here's the thing. Even Dana White said that when he went into the back and saw the cut, he agreed that the fight should have been stopped. Okay? So here's the thing.
I don't give a fuck about Dana White's opinion.
I get what you guys are saying. I'm a fan of the fight. I enjoyed the fight. I wanted to see more. But here's where I go, okay? And I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me, maybe I didn't see this, and maybe you guys can tell me that I'm wrong. But I think the worst thing that the doctor did was he went into the and looked at the cut and then immediately stopped the fight. I feel that he should have gone into the octagon, checked the cut, because as you say, Eddie, it wasn't bleeding as badly, right? At the time that they stopped the fight. The cut man had done a great job. I mean, the cut man did an amazing job for basically 3 rounds, right? Like to make sure that cut wasn't like just pouring blood all over the place. Now, here's the thing. I think what the doctor should have done is he should have told Nate Diaz, I'm going to give you half a round, maybe this round, but you got to make something happen. You can't just keep taking damage to this eye because I'm going to stop this fight. He should have let Diaz at least implement his game plan or know that the fight's about to be stopped, so he has to make something happen, instead of just going in there and saying, that's it, it's over. Do you guys agree with me?
No, Jesus, I think you're a fucking moron. Are you fucking telling me you think the fucking doctor should be giving Nate Diaz advice on how to fight? Let me tell you something.
No. I'm saying this. You go in there and you assess the cut and you go, look, I can allow you to continue fighting, but you need to do something other than just get punched in the face. Because if you're not doing anything, we're stopping this fight. And then tell the referee, if he takes too much damage to this eye, we have to stop the fight. Here's the thing, you guys. you guys have to understand that the doctor has to protect the fighter no matter what. Okay? He has to protect the fighter. But as you guys are saying, there's leniences, right? I know a lot of people point to the Tyson Fury cut. They point to other cuts that Diaz has had, blah, blah, blah. In all of those fights, though, the doctor has always come in and warned the fighter, I'm going to stop this fight if this continues. Right? They always warn the fighter before they stop the fight. I didn't hear the doctor warn Diaz that he's going to stop this fight or that the cut is too bad. Even from that conversation he had with him, did it look to you guys like he was going to stop the fight? Like he talked to him, Diaz kind of like nodded his head like, yeah, we're good. And then the doctor walked away, and then seconds later it was over. Like it didn't seem like he had told him, I'm going to stop the fight, correct?
Right.
No, it didn't look like that. But
see, that's what I'm saying. So to me, like there was a lack of the doctor like giving his assessment to the fighter and to the referee and saying, look, like, you know, either something needs to happen or, you know, this is too bad and we need to do something about it. Like it was just so like he was hiding it from Diaz, right? Like he went over, talked to Diaz, and then went over to the referee. And the referee, even you guys saw, the referee was like, God dang, now I got to stop this fight. Like he didn't even want to do it.
He didn't want to.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was so sudden, and it was so like you didn't even give this guy a chance to, you know, prove that he wasn't going to take any more damage, to protect himself better, to do something other than just get punched in the face.
God damn it, he knows he needs to stop getting punched in the face, Jesus. Yeah,
does he? Yeah. Then why didn't he do it in the first 3 rounds?
Because he can't help it. The other guy's really quick and he's punching me. Listen, God damn it. If he comes to the art, isn't it got something to do with if you can see out of that motherfucking eyeball? So if the ref comes in and goes, homeboy, how many fingers am I holding up? If Nate Diaz says 3, I can see fuck off.
Go. Yeah.
Ain't that the end of it? Like, bro, you're right. You're here to check up on me. I can see still. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, like Nate said, the blood don't hurt. It looks bad, but if I can see, get the fuck out of the way. Like, don't stop the fight because you think the cut looks bad. If I can see still, then the fight should continue. No, like your eye could be swelled up with no blood, and they stop the fight because you can't see. Nate could see fine, right? Like, does anybody think that Nate couldn't see out of that eye?
Like, I don't think that he was seeing some of those shots coming from that side. To be honest with
you, a fast.
Now wait. Now here's the other thing.
I think in that moment, if the doctor looked in his eye, I think Nate could see out of that eye. Find out the pass an eye test right there. Like it was cut, but it wasn't.
And that's the thing, right? That's the thing, right? We're not sure because that conversation that he had with Diaz didn't seem like it was a bad conversation, right? Like he went over, looked at it, talked to him, and then walked away. So it kind of looked like he was going to let it go on, right? Like that's the thing. Like to me, it seemed like the doctor like pulled the trigger.
He had his mind made up when he walked in there.
Exactly. Like he didn't allow the fighter to fight his fight. And I agree with you, Eddie. Like you have to protect the fighter, but also, you know, like everybody's saying, in Vegas, it wouldn't have happened because a doctor would have come in the second round or the first round after the fight and informed the fighter, listen, this cut is getting bad. You need to do something to not take damage. Like this happens all the time in fighting. In the UFC, the doctor comes in and tells you in boxing, do something because if this continues to get bad or it gets worse than this, I have to stop this fight. And they tell the fighter they're communicating. He didn't communicate anything with Diaz. And this whole BS, like I understand, Eddie, what you're saying. 4th and 5th round, that's the rounds that you know the Diaz brothers are well known for putting it on and all this stuff. But as a fighter, Diaz should have known once he got cut in that first round that he had to change something because he himself has said that, you know, he cuts easy and, you know, he doesn't want fights stopping because of cuts, but they do end up stopping because of cuts. You know, that happens. So that means you have to adjust your game plan. It's also the fault of Diaz for not attempting to change his game plan just because, oh, well, they're not going to stop this fight. You know, I'm cut, I'm bleeding, you know, it's going to be fine. No, you also have to be a smart person and go, I need to adjust my game plan accordingly.
I think you're really underestimating him trying to not get punched in the face, Jesus here. Like Yeah, I'm sure he was trying to not let that cut get any worse, but Jorge had his number that night. I mean, I agree with you on that point. I don't think Nate was going to be turning on the special for the 5th round, but
so then the question is, if that's what you guys all think, then shouldn't we be applauding somebody to stopping Nate Diaz from taking so much more damage that he's going to be away for much longer, from having something that's going to stop his career, and now he's going to be out a year instead of 6 months. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Like, shouldn't we be happier that the cut is now stopped? Now he can rest. He can come back in a couple months, and we get another fight.
No, because we don't know if we're going to get another fight. This dude was gone for 3 years, dog. Here's what I'm saying. Look. My bottom line with this is not okay. We know for sure Diaz is gonna turn up in the 4th, 5th and win. We didn't know that. We didn't get a chance. He didn't get the chance to prove that. Just like you were saying, the doc didn't come in and say, "Hey, man, if you keep getting fucked up in that one, I'm gonna stop this shit." He didn't even get to say that. He went in there with his mind already made up that he was stopping this fucking fight. Now I don't know about this right here, but I can't stand the New York State Athletic Commission for shit. They've been fucking shit up in MMA since we got there.
maybe,
And they've had, I think it was like 3 or 4 deaths in New York, right? In the state. That's
right. So
I could see that, but I don't think that's the case.
That is the case. I mean, in my opinion, it's the case. Like, the doctor goes in there, he represents the New York State Athletic Commission. He represents them, right? Because if you go in there as a doctor, you don't represent them, you can't stop a fight for shit. You can't wave it off, right? So he represents them. Now, if they're scared of boxing, death and liability because he got sued, fair enough, But it's just the whole thing just seemed to be like one, like, not misunderstanding, like just a shitty fucking thing that happened to a badass fight. Like, and honestly, it takes away from both guys. Like, Jorge didn't get to finish, what do you call it, his masterpiece? He didn't get to finish his Picasso, whatever he called it. He didn't get to finish the fight, right? Now he wins by doctor stoppage, by a cut, right? But he still takes the BMF belt home, which really doesn't mean anything. But what we've seen people say over and over again, which I don't really care for, is this whole, if he was a real BMF, he would have left that belt on the floor. I'm like, fuck that. If I did all that work and I won the fight, I'm taking that belt home too. But
like Chael Sonnen, right?
Like, everybody.
There was nothing not BMF about motherfucking Jorge Masvidal.
Jorge Masvidal is a bad motherfucker.
Showed up with some goddamn Cuban tequila, a goddamn slice of pizza, a fucking suit, talking shit at the post presser.
He didn't give a fuck.
But I tell you what we're talking about is, aside from all the fucking controversy for a moment. Yo, what the fuck happened to Jorge Masvidal in that jungle, Jack? Or wherever the fuck he went to shoot that little reality show in 2018. I don't know what the fuck happened to him, but when that motherfucker came back with long hair, he was on some different shit. Like, and maybe he's just on a good streak right now. I don't know what's going on, but everything about Jorge is completely fucking impressive and better. I mean, his skills in the cage seem impeccable. On the mic, he hasn't missed a beat. The motherfucker, like, everything about him is coming together in a really almost unprecedented way for somebody that's been in the game for like forever. Bro, you remember, this is the same motherfucker, dog, that got motherfucking the
Chandler Primus.
Was that? No, I'm saying the real weirdy beardy triangle, man, from Tony Amada. Fucking a million years ago in Bellator, you know what I mean? Like, Jorge Masvidal was on the receiving end of that fucking, like, upward inverted, like, fucking vertical triangle or whatever the fuck 20 years ago in Bellator, man. He has had an incredible fucking, like, career resurgence pretty fucking late in the game, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it's not just the outside shit. Even in the cage, he looks incredible. And I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that might have been the last time he was finished. Was a fucking weirdy beardy triangle. I know he hasn't been finished in the UFC. He's lost some fights, but he hasn't been finished. So we should just that shit should get a little bit of the credit that it deserves. I don't know what happened to Jorge in that jungle. Like, real talk, no joke.
Yeah.
But something's like really switched for him, and he has alluded to it a little bit that, like, he came back. He said he was gonna start baptizing fools and the Cuban Jesus and the whole most of it. But all of the hyperbole aside, he has been fighting different. Every interview he's given since that time has been different. Like, that dude really changed his fucking persona to the fight game. And again, he's somebody that we've known for years, but like, this feels like a different guy.
Eddie, correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't we kind of been been saying that Jorge Masvidal had the potential to do this. Like, I feel like we've been saying it for such a long time since we saw this kid in the old like Kimbo fights, right? Like this wild kid that you could see like this raw potential in him. Like, God, like so many years ago. I almost want to say like over 20 years ago, and I think it was, right? Like, I mean, this was such a long time ago when he was fighting in the backyards for money. And like, I feel like we all in the back of our heads, at least the hardcores, knew that Masvidal had this in him. But to actually see it happen, right? To see how he's just been, you know, laying dudes out, the way he's been fighting, the way like he's not going to decisions anymore, right? Like that was a big
That's
thing
what
on
I'm saying,
him, right?
yeah.
Like before he was so cautious, he didn't want to lose. He had a style where he wanted to outpoint you, but not really like get hurt or something, or just not put himself out there.
Yeah.
And like now it seems like he's ready to just die in there. Like, you know,
Here's
and,
the thing. So,
and in that fight, real quick, Eddie,
yeah.
in that fight, like when Diaz would hit him, it was like he was having fun, right? Like he was finally fighting somebody that was gonna hurt him, and they both were gonna die in there to prove who was the baddest dude in there. And it seemed like he was having just so much fun in there, and it was like you said, Eddie, it was terrible to see him not be able to finish that achievement that he wanted to do, right? To find out just how good he is versus a guy that's willing to die in there against him. But like, I mean, his fight in 3 rounds was flawless.
Yeah, look, man, I think with him, when he was doing backyard fights and all that shit, he was trying to finish dudes and all that. He was trying to survive, right? I think when he got to the UFC, or specifically the UFC, it was very much about not losing. I mean, because if you lose 2, 3 in a row, you get cut, right? So then I think at some point, maybe you're right. When he went to the jungles and whatnot, he must have decided like, hey, fuck that. I'm going to try and finish every one of these fights. And if I lose, I lose. Fine. Fuck it. And then you get knockouts like the Darren Till knockout, like the Ben Askren knockout, like this fucking fight. You get crazy fucking fights. I think we, like you said, we all knew he had it in him. And I always enjoy watching Jorge Masvidal. So when this one got announced, I was kind of like, oh, fuck. Like, I want to see this fight, but I don't want to see this fight. Like, I don't want to pick it. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I'm sorry to cut you off, Eddie.
Go ahead.
I was just thinking about something. It's almost the end of the year. We got one more card, and for
one
all
more big
me,
card, yeah.
Yeah, one more big card.
Yeah.
And for all of me, I don't think anything that'll happen on that card will change. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Colby or Usman, but probably not. Fighter of the year, is it Adesanya or is it Jorge Masvidal?
I'm going Masvidal on that, and I know it goes against everything I've ever said before as far as accomplishments and whatnot. But I'm going Masvidal.
Not really, man.
I mean, why? Tell me why.
What?
Like, because I have my reasons why it's Masvidal. But what are your reasons?
Mine, because he finally fuck. Look at the names he snuffed. Darren Till wasn't a come up. They was like, oh, here, get little Jorge Masvidal, get him out of there, get a bigger name. You know, we'll use him as a gatekeeper. Boom, didn't work out. All right, get Ben Askren in there. Ben Askren is like, fuck it, I'm the best welterweight. I'm gonna go ahead and just wrestle fuck you. Nope, knee to the face. Cool. Then Nate creates this big ass fight. He calls out Masvidal, basically invites him to the party. Like, hey, come see what's up. Right? And what does he do? Takes advantage. Wins. Right? And not only wins, looks dominant and scary as fuck for any 170 fighter out there. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he changed his entire image and how people think of him, I think, within this year. Pretty much. Okay. I like Izzy. I'm a fan of Izzy. But I just don't, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit, but I like Masvidal way better. I think he did more.
The Kelvin Gastelum fight was this year, right, with Izzy?
I think so, yeah.
Right, so that's fight of the year, fucking fight of the decade candidate, and then he did win the belt. 2 really fucking impressive things. But like I think I agree with you too, though. Go ahead, Jesus, so I don't fucking
no.
Spill over all the time.
I agree with both of you. I think it's Masvidal, and I think, Eddie, you're right. But I also think the biggest thing that you got to look at when you're picking like the fighter of the year is why Masvidal is my pick, is because last year, if you had, kind of fanned out, Masvidal, Adesanya, even like Cejudo, and like some of these other fighters that are in the talks of fighter of the year, you would pick all of those guys before you would pick Masvidal to have a standout year, right? Because you could see the trajectory that they were on. Masvidal was almost like on a you didn't know what you were gonna get with him anymore, right? He was on that like that weird style. He was decisioning. He was losing by close decisions. Like he just kind of was listless. And then like Fred is alluding to, he went and did that show, and he came back and he was just obliterating people. And the way he fought against Diaz was just so impressive because, again, like I said, he was loose. He was having fun. Like he was just enjoying the sport all over again. And that to me is what makes him the fighter of the year, because last year you wouldn't even think of him as having a standout year. You would just be like, yeah, he'll probably get a decision win or two, or he'll lose by like a close razor cut decision. And now it's like he's just you just want to see him fight like the very best at 170 so he can win the title. Like we're talking about him and Colby, we're talking about him and Kamaru, we're talking about him and everybody else. Like it's not Adesanya versus all these other people. We're talking about Masvidal.
Yeah, I have to agree, and I tell you why, man. And look, man, honestly, Izzy had a great year. Like that fucking Kelvin Gastelum fight was amazing, and then winning the belt the way he did, that's some fucking like really, really impressive shit. The only thing for me why I give it to Masvidal, obviously all the hype and all the shit that's came along with it, bad motherfucker belt, blase, blase. But Masvidal has single-handedly became a money fight. And that's very hard to do. Like, there's not, I mean, fuck, man. Maybe 2 or 3 guys, maybe him, Nate, and Connor. Mm-hmm. Like, if you wanted to really brass tacks, I mean, maybe you could throw John Jones and a few other people in that ballpark. But like, in 1 year, Jorge Masvidal became one of the biggest stars in the fucking sport. Like, he could sell over 500,000 pay-per-view buys fighting a broom now.
Especially
now. Like, and that, that's huge. Like, don't get me wrong, it's really hard to become a champion, obviously. It's almost just like a different sort of accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Like, to do what Izzy did was incredibly hard, but like to do what Jorge did and to like almost transcend the sport a little bit and become a guy who can sell 500,000 pay-per-view buys, that's unheard of. And to be fair, let the story keep going. Izzy very well might win and fight John Jones, and he may end up, rewriting this trajectory a little bit. But for now, 2019, fucking Jorge Masvidal's year, Jack. Period.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at Izzy's 2019. Anderson Silva beats him by decision. Beats Kelvin Gastelum by decision. Knocks out Robert Whittaker. Right.
Oh, so the Anderson Silva fight was this year too.
This year, yeah, okay. But that was, but it's Anderson Silva now.
Listen.
Not even Anderson Silva that fought Nick at 83.
Fair enough, but a W nonetheless against an aging.
100%.
I didn't know. I thought he only fought twice this year. So that's okay.
And then Masvidal fought twice in 2017. Both losses to Damian Maia and Wonderboy Thompson in 2017. Right, both of them losses. Then, in this year alone, knocks out Darren Till, knocks out Ben Askren in incredible fashion, both of them, and then TKO's Nate Diaz.
So let's just do it then. Let's just do it.
It's him.
3 fights apiece, right? So First fight, we got an aging Anderson Silva with Adesanya and a young bull like Darren Till, who you got to give the edge to Jorge, right? Yep. Beating Darren Till, come on. Yep. Second fight. So this was one where, going into the fight, obviously, the Askren fight probably would be a little more tougher. But obviously, how the fights played out, you might even want to give Adesanya that one.
He went through a war with Kelvin, so yeah.
Yeah. But even on this, on the last fight, as much, I know Robert Whittaker had the fights with Yoel, but I felt that Adesanya was a bad matchup for Robert Whittaker. And going into this fight, I flat thought Nate Diaz was going to win, Jack. And that's with the new Jorge. I fucking thought that Nate's hands would be a little better, that he would be able to take more, whatever. And Jorge fucking did what he did. So, yeah, even pound for pound, fight for fight, 2019 Jorge Masvidal Fighter of the Year, man. Right. I don't give a fuck what happens for the rest of the year. We ain't got to wait till the end of the year to do that one. I don't give a shit what happens at 245.
Who's left?
It ain't going you know what I mean? Even if Colby wins the belt, or Usman defends, it ain't going to be bigger than this. You know what I mean? So,
all right. Then, all right. moving on, just gonna go through the card very quickly. Hakeem Dawodu gets his decision win over Julio Arce early in the first fight of the night. He's all pissed off that he didn't get the finish. Lyman Good fucking cracked the shit out of Chance Rencontre and knocked him out third round. Okay, just very quickly. Caitlin Chukagian beats Jennifer Maia by decision. Does anyone here believe she has a chance against Shevchenko?
No, of course not. But it is what it is, right? The infancy of the divisions, man. The champion's got to fight somebody. But yeah, no, of course not. But who's got a chance against anybody? Who has her? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is.
Oh shit, we got a lot of comments. Give me 1 second, Jesse, before we move on. Let me catch up. All the comments. There's a shitload. My bad, fellas and ladies. Dan Rodriguez says, "What's up, guys? I'm feeling like shit, but I'm here." Me too, bro. I'll talk about the cut, but it's not a new cut. He's always had the scar tissue in both of those spots. Agreed. Daniel saying, but it's fighting. He's gonna get hit. How are you gonna say that to a fighter? That's like a ref telling the asker to stop taking guys down, or I'm stopping the fight.
Hey, Zeus, you cocksucker.
Then,
it's not like it hasn't been said to the fighters before. I'm just saying.
Oh, right. Fight for your right. MMA says in the end, it all works out for Nate. Jorge most likely doesn't promise a rematch. Had Diaz taken an aspirin for 2 more rounds, 100% because we get a finish.
Yeah,
finally.
That's a good point, man. I was thinking about that earlier, and Jesus was saying that. Like as annoying as it is, it probably worked out for the better.
It's a good question. It's a good question. Rematch, does it play out the same or different?
Yeah. Wait.
I mean,
the question is it a main event or a 3-rounder? Because I think if it's a 3-rounder, it's definitely a different fight.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Listen, now that we've seen it, for all of me, Jorge's a better fighter. He's a better striker. I mean, what the fuck do you think that Nate would do in a 3-round fight? Because Jorge could just put the pedal to the metal too. Like at the end of the day, they look like, let's keep it a buck. We've all been watching fights for a long time. That was a boxing match for the most part. They were willing to stand there and trade. Seems like Jorge was the better boxer. Now, unless Nate wanted to pull some bullshit and try to use some offensive wrestling and take Jorge down, or
that's what I was thinking.
Clinch game, maybe, but that ain't Nate. Nate's a bad motherfucker. That ain't how he does.
Yeah, he's gonna throw hands.
He won, and he was again. It's not like he didn't touch Jorge. He was touching him. I feel like Nate's a 55er low key, and Jorge's a 70er. Like you can tell the difference in this match. Like Jorge was getting touched, but it didn't matter when he touched Nate. They stopped the fucking fight.
Yeah. No, if you look at the. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Eddie. No, I think that's a big thing. Like the size difference. I totally agree with you, Fred, in that point. 170, Nate Diaz has never been so successful, but 155, Nate Diaz is dangerous to anybody because he has that stamina, because of all those things. And at 170, it just seems like he didn't have the power and the pop to really hurt Masvidal and make him back up.
Well, yeah, at 170, here's the thing. At 155, Nate's punches land, the ones that go at 100% or even just a little less than that, they make dents on dudes. When you saw the Michael Johnson fight, whenever he touched Mike, he fucked him up. But he was taller, he was longer, he had better cardio. At 155, because he can make that weight, no matter what. He can always make it, right? At 170, you're hitting a guy with a little more density to him, and Nate's never been a fucking Mike Tyson puncher. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's been a volume puncher. Jorge Masvidal. And he's been a slow starter. You can't be a slow starter with Jorge Masvidal because Jorge does not start slow at all. Like,
and
not no more.
He runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think I pointed out too, right, last week, was that if Masvidal wanted to take advantage of that, like that was going to be the key thing, and that's what he did, right? Like right away, they got into that clinch and hit him with that nasty elbow and then that kick.
Yeah.
Like just right away, really put it to Nate and put him on his heels. Mm-hmm. But I mean. I agree with you, Eddie. I think that if both of them fought at like 165 even, I think it'd be a really interesting fight just because you get like kind of like an optimum Diaz with like a little bit more of a weight cut Masvidal, where maybe some of that power of Nate Diaz could come back and really make a difference in that way.
Listen, if I'm Nate Diaz, like I'm calling out Justin Gaethje.
If you can't get the Jorge fight?
He ain't getting the Jorge fight. I mean, stop.
Dana already said he's like, I'm not interested.
I don't think it
won't be now.
Nah,
it'll be later on.
The problem with the rematch is it'll never be the same. This is one of those things. Like you got the fucking rock there, the press. You can't redo that. Not now.
Not now.
It has to be something else. Like you just can't run it back. Like they need to run it back that night. Like if we can't do it then, like it's not gonna be the same, dog. It's just not gonna be the same.
All right. Let's see some more comments. Masvidal was tuning Nate up, but he was basically slowing down in the third. You could have scored that third round for Nate. I think it's stretching it a little bit. I had a Masvidal. I had it closer than the other two, but I thought Nate was doing better. But I think Masvidal won that round.
And I've seen the notion that Jorge was slowing down. Yeah, but I just don't. Not enough to where I think.
Right.
I don't think it was gonna he was gonna slow down enough, and Nate was gonna pick it up enough to where he was gonna start hurting Jorge. Maybe late in the fifth, but Jorge, he had enough stamina, I think, to get through that fourth pretty easy.
Yeah, not like earlier in the earlier in the night. I think it was Shane Burgos and Marco Amirkhani. Amirkhani came out like a fucking bat out of hell and gassed the fuck out, and then Shane Burgos fucked him up in the third. Yeah.
That's the fight I was gonna point to.
yeah. But I mean, that was not gonna happen with Jorge not this time anyway.
You also got to keep in mind that that's one of Nate Diaz's strong points. You got to imagine Jorge knew that the whole time. Don't gas out. Just keep don't throw it all. You know what I mean? Like he had to know. Okay, motherfucker, we going to the fourth or fifth. I know you think you about to turn it on, but goddamn it, no fucking way.
So here's the thing too. The other thing that I noticed during the fight, and this is during the fight, and mind you, I was live tweeting it, so I had to rewatch it. I rewatched the fight like 4 times. The one thing that I think Jorge did fucking expertly, just like genius. Nate would come at you with pressure and pressure and pressure and pressure, and then he would sit back for a second and breathe and rest. And that's when Jorge jumped on his ass and landed heavy fucking shots, put his back to the cage, and then fucked him up with elbows and everything. Like, he was so smart about waiting for Nate to let up on the pressure, just to reset or to breathe or whatever, and then Jorge would just immediately just hit the gas on those spots. I think that was great fucking strategy by Masvidal.
Very good point. Very good point.
And those body shots that he was cashing in early. I mean, the body work that Masvidal did was amazing too. That and honestly, who knows? Maybe Masvidal, like Fred is saying, maybe Masvidal had another gear that he was going to hit in the fourth and fifth round.
Maybe.
Yo, let's get back to the card. I want to get the fucking big nips real quick.
Yeah, we'll get there. Let me finish up some comments here.
Hold on.
I know. Where else we go? Jorge has been the clout stealer of the year. That's for sure, 100%.
No doubt.
3 dudes. He snuffed 3 dudes. And took their fucking took their shine.
Bigger and bigger and shit. Now look at him.
Have you talked about Kevin Lee yet? We're going to. That was a crazy fucking fight. Yeah. Was it staff? I don't know. They didn't say, but I guarantee it was staff. I mean, I feel like it was staff. It looks like staff to me.
Who gives a shit?
Talking about Cole. Okay, it's a tough match for Colby. I think Usman thumps on him, but I could be wrong. When we lose, Colby should fight Jorge at some point. I think so too. I think they will.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the no's and the nopes about, folks? Are you talking about this comment? Let us know.
That's probably something we said.
Something we said. Sorry, folks. Sure. Someone clear that up, please. Anyway. Here's a decent one. Tatiana Suarez beat Shevchenko.
Possible, for sure.
I would love to see
get her neck problems under control.
Is she still out?
Yeah, she's still out.
God damn it. I love watching her fight. That chick's a fucking scary chick.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Dustin and Nate at 155. I'd be cool with that. Nate Dustin's been talking too much shit.
I'd like to see Nate back at 55.
Me too.
For sure.
Anyway, all right. Sorry. Let me go on through the card real quick. And then Andrei Arlovski gets knocked the fuck out by the scariest fucking asshole next to Francis Ngannou and Rosenstruik, who just took that fight against Overeem.
Listen,
that dude's scary shit.
To be fair, if you're gonna knock anybody for knocking out a fucking aging fighter, as much as I love Arlovski, he is about as shop worn as they get. That's a
good point. I didn't think about that. We'll see. Let's see how it does against Overeem.
He is long in the tooth. Yeah, which to be fair,
even then,
Overeem's right on that same level.
Then, I was gonna say Glasgow Overeem.
I said about even then. I think we'll be saying that about Rosenstruik until he knocks out someone like the Black Beast or Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because now even if he wins, it could be the same thing.
That's a good point. I think about that.
Veterans, but yeah. Is what it is.
All right, then Brad Tavares gets knocked out in the first round by Edmund Shabazian, whatever the fuck. Shabazian, thank you. But representing for Glendale Fight Club, Edmund, how do you say that dude last name, the coach?
Tarvarian?
Yeah, that dude. Like, he slowly turned around his rep a little bit with this dude. He's working on it. But that was a nice little knockout on Brad Tavares. Then Shane Burgos, took the heat for a couple rounds from Makwan, and then Makwan gassed the fuck out, gets knocked out in the third round. Then, of course, we got Big Nips knocking out Johnny Walker in the first round. And then acting a fucking fool after the fight. Why was everyone so mad about him losing his mind?
Wait. Fred tweeted something out, and maybe that's what he's going to talk about.
Okay.
But him saying that he deserves a title shot or to be released is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. But go ahead, Fred. I can't wait to hear what you got to say there.
Yeah, listen. First off, yeah, okay. Hey, look, his little funky, stupid worm he did.
Yeah,
all that. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
You're right. We all did think you was going to lose. We all treated you like you was going to lose, and you won. So give us a little humble pie. That being said, calm the fuck down. You are acting like we should not have thought you were going to lose. What the fuck have you really done up to this point that would make us think? Like, of course we thought Johnny Walker was going to beat you, man. Like, judging on the previous performance. It ain't nothing personal, fucking big titties. Nobody's out to get you except me. Like, nobody's talking shit. Like, it isn't about you. It's about your performances. If you keep doing this, we will want to see you fight for the title. But you got one performance over a guy that was low-key a rookie that we all thought was going to beat you. Nah. That's the point. Cool beans. You shut us up. You are a good fighter. You proved that. But it's annoying him kind of being like, oh, I don't get none of the respect I deserve. Because you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Because when you start now, you do deserve it. And guess what? You about to start getting it a little bit. But calm down. You're going to get a little bit. I think who was running his mouth? The guy can't stand. Fucking Anthony Smith. You fight him. You fight him. And if you come out and you knock him out or you smash him, then you keep talking your shit. And guess what'll happen? You'll get that fucking respect you so much desire. But what you ain't gonna do is beat Johnny Walker fucking Blue Who and be like, oh, I want John Jones now. Like, do you know the fuck John Jones is? Corey Anderson? We've done this twice with fucking Tiago and Anthony. I got a news flash for all y'all motherfuckers at 205. You ain't getting him, Corey. And I don't think fucking what's the Mexican player? I don't think Reyes.
Dominic Reyes.
I think they're gonna try to make some money off of John Jones, and I think they should. But Corey, you definitely ain't getting the fight. And I'll tell you another thing. You better be cool. You better be real cool. That whole or release me, be fucking cool. They will fucking do it. They let Arlovsky go a long time ago, back when it meant something. I'm stoned. They have let go plenty of people that tried to call their bluff. You think they won't let you go coming off a win off of fucking Johnny Walker? Like, you gonna go to Bellator and what? Beat Phil Davis and claim that you could have beat John Jones? You better be cool, because now you're doing all right. You finally got a big win on a big stage. Now you about to be cooking with a little bit of grease. Don't fuck yourself. Don't start talking crazy. Don't start talking reckless and get DW to send your funny ass to Bellator, because what you ain't gonna do in Bellator is prove your point. It won't matter who's over there. It won't matter who you beat over there. Like, you could go over there and go to heavyweight and it won't matter. Who you gonna beat? Ryan Bader? Like, realist of talk. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Stay right where you're at. Keep winning fights. Keep talking your shit. But, get off that fucking pedestal and stop acting like the MMA media and everybody owes you. Nobody owe you a goddamn thing. You look at Jorge. You take that shit. You just got you're doing the right thing. But stop acting so butthurt, man. This is the way it goes.
There you go.
I think the funniest thing that he said too was, they're trying to get me beat. They're trying to get me beat. Like, yeah, that's the point, right? Like, they're trying to see if you can win these fights. Trying to get everyone
beat. Yeah, that's the name of the game when you're the matchmaker. You're trying to get every guy beat. That's the whole point.
This isn't boxing where Tyson Fury fights two duds and beats him in the last two and almost loses the last one with that fucking cut on his fucking face. But that's a story for another time. I like the huge chip on Corey. Let him be all pissed off all the time so he fights like that all the time. I'm down for that. Cornison, baby, beating 25-8.
Get the fuck out of here.
Johnny Walker's an entertainer, not a top tier fighter. Right now, he is. I think if a little more work, he can get there. But he's young.
Real quick. Do you think that he was 100% in that fight? Because it seemed like his what was it? His left arm, like he was trying to stretch it out right before that fight.
Is that the shoulder?
Like, yeah. And it looked like he was trying to like throw that punch, and it just wasn't happening. And then, he got clipped soon after that. But it just seemed like that wasn't 100% Johnny Walker in there.
Sure, I don't know. It probably, to me, just seemed like maybe we got a little overzealous. The W's that he had happened really quickly, silly ass Big Nip said that he's seen something, that he had a defensive problem with overhand rights or whatever. It's what it is.
Yeah.
Fair play.
He's talking Corey fights Smith and Dom fights Rack.
Look, I'm here
okay with that.
I'm here
I like
for
that.
it. There you
like
go.
That.
Right. Like, let's get 205 figured out a little bit. Then maybe those guys fight each other, and then maybe John actually has a fucking competitor. But stop demanding time. Ain't nobody at 205 right now needs to be demanding shit that's got to do with John Jones. I mean, let's just keep it a being. Like nobody has that privilege right now. Like everybody
that and you don't want to get baptized by John Jones. You know, it's just going to be brutal for you.
Yeah. Let's not even get there, big bitch. You got fucking cute with fucking Johnny Walker. You better be fucking thankful and pray to the fucking gods that they don't give you Mr. Pico Graham Jones, because that's what you don't want.
He will end your career at 205.
John Jones, son. Johnny will give you that work.
Dude, you losing to John Jones, you would think losing to him would be something like, well, you lost to the greatest of all time, so you get credit. No, John Jones ends dude's relevancy at 205. How many guys does he beat? Well, we don't even remember their names anymore. It's fucking, it's ridiculous with that dude. This fucking guy. Kane was submitted by Brock. In WWE, that's not submission. That's a fucking plan. Chill out. You can't have, I'm assuming I didn't get to watch it. You can't have, I did get to see the picture of what Kane wore, and I was disappointed. But he walked out there with those like thigh high fucking, not thigh high, like super short, like really short shorts. Like they were weird, like leather shorts and like MMA gloves and shit. And he goes out there to fight Brock and everything. That's the whole idea, right? And then Brock submits him. Like, well, you can't have Kane beating him right now, right?
You know my problem with that was I watched it. So
did you?
They come out and they basically just work an MMA fight, right? So fucking Kane's throwing some fucking leg kicks and blase, and I think Kane throws a head kick and knocks Brock down and then jumps on top of him. But here's where it gets fucking bad. You're supposed to work a fight and make it look real. Brock gets hit with a head kick, hits the ground. Kane jumps on top of him, so he's in like fucking side mount. And Brock locks up a Kimura from the bottom and just kind of yanks it on up there and submits him while Kane is on top. I'm like, hey, Jack, that ain't how it works in real life. At least like let him reverse him and let Brock get on top of him and yank it behind his arm a little bit. Like, what the fuck? He just locked up the Kimura after eating the head kick?
I'm gonna have to watch it now. I'm gonna have to watch it now. Now you got
no, you're not. Please no. Please no.
Okay. Well, someone send me a GIF or something that shows it quickly. I don't
want to make it more believable. Goddamn, we're gonna work it. At least fucking, don't fucking piss on me and tell me it's raining.
I like how they sang Kane. They sang Kane that we're gonna watch. I'm like, I'm not.
It's wrestling, Fred. It's never gonna be anything good. Come on, you got guys jumping off of like gigantic, freaking cages onto tables, and people think they're dead, and then they wake up. Come on.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. We got? What else happened? All
right, real quick, let's go through the main card. Kevin Lee. Yeah, Kevin Lee. Let's talk Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee with the beautiful head kick setup. Has anybody changed besides Jorge Masvidal? Yeah, murder somebody. Besides Jorge Masvidal, has anybody else changed their fucking profile or their fucking rep like this guy did with just this one knockout?
It was a very impressive one. To be fair, I think we fucking MMA is very hype train driven. Who was Greg? Look, I get it. All you fucking hardcore shitbirds out there. I understand what we all thought Gregor Gillespie could be and what he probably will end up being. But who was his fucking biggest win coming into this fight, man?
Look it up.
Like, it might be somebody, top 10 maybe, but surely Gregor ain't got no huge name. I understand the talent level, but going into this fight, I was kind of thinking like you can never guarantee anything in MMA, but I'm like, I don't know if Gregor's just going to necessarily run through. Motherfuckers be like sleeping on Kevin Lee.
Yeah, but Yancey, he TKO'd him now too, but I think that was like a takedown. He ended up on top, but I think he's only fighting the UFC.
Nonetheless, like if that's his
that was his last fight, and then Vince Pichel, who's a good up and coming striker, and then before that there's
what's that?
Yeah, okay, listen, Vince straight from hell, Pichel again. all due respect, if those are your biggest wins going into a fight with Kevin Lee, Gregor Gillespie was making a massive step up in competition. Now, clearly he didn't necessarily pass that test, but like, hindsight's 2020. But like, we needn't be sleeping on Kevin Lee just because he lost. Who did he lose to? RDA and who else?
Let me see.
RDA and somebody else. Fucking top tier guys.
Yeah.
Like we be getting shit twisted sometimes because motherfuckers lose to some fucking animals and be like, he's washed up. Al Iaquinta.
Al Iaquinta, Barbosa.
All right, so here's the names that he's lost to. Okay?
Right.
Tony Ferguson, killer. Al Iaquinta, not a bitch. RDA submitted and former champ. He beat
Barbosa, right?
Edson Barbosa. He beat Edson.
Oh, he did
beat Edson. Yeah.
Oh, well, shit! Look at there, he fucking go, goddamn.
And he's been around for a minute, too. We all feel like he's been new. No, like he beat Efrain Escudero back in the day in 2016. Then Jake Matthews as well. Magomed Mustafayev.
Like, bro, Kevin Lee's an animal.
Right, and then the names started coming again for Kevin. Francisco Trinaldo submits him, rear naked choke. Michael Chiesa, rear naked choke, win. Barbosa, doctor stoppage.
Michael Chiesa, rear naked choke. Like, motherfuckers.
Keep in mind, that's the one that was contested. And someone in the comment section remind me, or give us details. The whole thing where Michael Chiesa was like,
He was God. I like Michael Chiesa, but he was God. He was God. It was game time. They stopped it early, but he was God. This shit is chess. That was checkmate.
There you go. Yeah, but
So, anyways, extremely impressive win.
Yeah,
I tell you what, man. In MMA, getting the W is important, but I tell you what, how you get it is almost just as important.
Yeah,
an impressive win is almost just as important as the win itself. Like he could have got this win, out grappled him, blase. We'd have been like, yeah, Kevin's back. A fucking head kick knockout where dude looks like he got shot by a sniper rifle. Like that shit just boom, you're fucking back in black, baby.
Do you see Megan O'Leary's reaction to that?
Yeah, like that.
I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Right.
Like she was just like immediately like, holy shit! Like she was like, she might have started to cry immediately. Best thing he ever did was change James to TriStar. Right? He gives Rogan credit for that.
Yep.
And then Kevin Lee's so young as fuck. Yes, he is. He's a bad.
Faraz is a beast, dog. So like that's a very good point. That'll probably prove to be a very good decision for him.
All right. Then Derek Lewis beats Blagoy even out by decision and calls out Greg Hardy.
I mean, I'm here for it. If he beats Volkov for sure, but whatever.
Yeah.
Impressive that Ivanov was able to absorb a lot of that damage and just keep moving forward. I mean,
that dude was a walking boulder. He took every shot and wouldn't die.
And as they kept pointing out in the commentary, he got stabbed in the heart. So anything Black Beast was gonna do to him wasn't really gonna do anything to him.
Yeah, I was like, dude, Blagoy's not scared of shit, boy. Like that dude's ready to, he's coming for it. Even though he has a granite chin. Yeah, he took every fucking shot that Black Beast had for him. Then Stephen Thompson becomes a fucking sniper and then started sitting on his fucking punches finally. Like, we don't see him sit on his shots too often. He started doing it, sitting, meaning he's like landing hard and heavy. That was a nice fucking win for him. Vicente Luque is probably the best thing that happened to him was losing to a guy like this. He's gonna come back better, I think.
Did you kind of feel though like nothing new learned from Wonderboy? It's just what we knew he could do.
It's the same mold. Just to me, it showed that he's kind of like back in tune with himself a little bit. I mean, after those fights against Woodley, he looked a little fucking worn out.
Yeah, and then getting fucking slept by Anthony Pettis. I thought he actually proved a lot with this fight. Like this fight, I thought he was going to. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I thought we were done with Wonderboy. I thought he was going to get knocked out in this one.
That's what I thought.
He like that Machida era, and I thought it was just going to be curtains. I thought he looked fucking amazing. I did not expect him to look that good. I thought he was going to be a little gun shy from the knockout and shit. So yeah, no, I'm kind of surprised. I learned a lot. Like Wonderboy, okay.
Yeah, it was such a good fight.
It was a great fight. Yeah.
We'll see.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. I wonder what they're gonna give Wonderboy next. But he's clearly not a gatekeeper now. After that,
he's not washed up for sure.
Not yet.
He's still got some shit to offer.
Then Darren Till gets a decision over Kelvin Gastelum. What do you guys think of that fight? I was all
right. Real quick. Did he use his coach to help him make weight?
Look. Okay, everyone in the conversation, tell us right now what you guys think of that whole thing, okay? But if any of you have scales in your bathrooms, okay, go stand on the scale, get your actual weight, okay? Then take one fingertip and just pushing the counter slightly and watch you lose a couple pounds. Am I saying that's what happened? No. Am I saying it's possible? Goddamn right. He DC'd the weigh-ins possibly. You know?
Okay.
Fuck.
And in all honesty, I who knows? But I think it's very telling how he performed in that fight. I just think that this fight came too soon for him, and you could tell in that fight it almost like he didn't want to go, right? Like he didn't have that I don't know, like you would think that he would perform a lot better against Darren Till, and Darren Till just picked him apart and like didn't even get touched almost in that fight. So it was a weird fight for me. But yeah, ever since that weigh-in thing, like I just was like, oh man, we got Kelvin Gastelum that's eating burritos, you know, taking tequila shots and not really taking his cardio and his weight seriously. So not going to be a good time for him.
Right.
In a weird way, I felt a lot like with Darren Till, like with Wonderboy. I was kind of worried, could he take a shot? Would he be gun shy? Would he be able to, I mean, you know, he's moving up in weight, but so what? He's still fighting the dude that hits like a fucking Mack truck, and he's been getting tagged in the face recently.
And did you hear what he said in the back? That he was faking,
terrified.
He was thinking of, no, that he was going to think of faking an injury so he didn't have to fight.
Yeah.
Well, right. He was so terrified to go out there. And yeah, for sure. And so exactly, like, the fact that he overcame that and he did fight a heavy puncher like that, was able to get through the fight without getting knocked out and use his length and his striking to his advantage and shit. Like, yeah, I thought Darren Till looked fucking great. And 85 is, I think it's a lot better suited for him. Like, I think everybody involved in that situation probably feels like he's better suited for 85.
Yeah,
his brain and shit, he's a huge guy.
Calvin couldn't get in there, dude. He just couldn't get inside to do damage he normally does. And Darren Till was great with it. So
yeah,
and when they clinched, he caused fucking problems.
Dude, you gotta keep it a buck, man. Kelvin was fucking touching Adesanya.
Yeah.
And, you know, he did a lot more work on Adesanya than he did Darren Till. Darren Till can be a real problem at 85, man.
Yeah, I think
that fucking moving up shit works for people.
Yeah, I think Kelvin needs a break. Take like a year off or something. Go chill out for a second, get your body right. First of all, stop eating so much garbage. But you know,
listen, nobody's mentioned this yet, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. Kelvin's got to get better friends.
That definitely.
Kelvin got to stop hanging around Henry Cejudo, because I'm telling you right now, Henry Cejudo going to lose his next fight. Whether it's at bantamweight or whether it's the fucking Joseph Benavidez, you heard it first right here. That little cute cocksucker going to lose his next fight. He's on a cute little winning streak right now. Got cute with Marlon Moraes, got the knockout over TJ. He's a sham.
Yeah. Let's see. He's in trouble with the commission, from the commission. Right. So New York State Athletic Commission, they're very worried about being embarrassed too. So they were pissed about a possibility of Rafael Cordero helping him make weight. Yeah. So they were like, "Oh, we're gonna come after him." I'm like, "Fuck, you don't have any real proof that he did anything. Any angle you get of that photo or that video is garbage. You can't really tell 100%. But 100% Rafael helped him make weight. How many times have you seen a coach next to a naked fighter behind the towel? Dude, that's exactly what I said. Okay, because if you guys know me, I watch the real weigh-ins. I watch them live for every pay-per-view, right? Because I just happen to be at work and it's a Friday morning, so I'm like, cool, I'm already on. I have it on while I'm doing my work and shit, and I have it on, and Gastelum comes in at the very end, and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's about to miss weight. So he comes up and he goes, towel. No one had used a towel. Even the guys were using the hoop. Even the guys were using the hoop. But he goes, towel. They take the towel, they kind of cover, they rub them down, whatever the towel and shit. They get up, and he said, they give the towel out. The commissioners are holding it. He gets on the scale, and Rafael Cordero stands right next to him. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like that. I noticed it for some reason, and I tweeted out. But I'm like, when do you see a coach stand next to his fighter, buck ass naked behind the scale? That's weird. Like no one's ever done that. Not for us. Not the AKA head coaches. Not even with DC. Not nobody. But Rafael Cordero goes up, and he's, Kelvin with his little elbows out and shit, like, dancing like an essay and shit. Fucking Rafael Cordero stands next to him. And I was like, that's a weird look. And then when he came in at 184, I'm like, why'd you need the towel? This isn't a title fight. Why'd you need the towel? So, yeah, probably.
Yep.
And plus the funniest thing of that whole thing, I don't know if you saw that, Eddie, was as soon as he got on and he was standing still, the commissioner was like, please don't move. Because his weight was fluctuating. Yeah. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, how much do you think he was over? Maybe like 2 pounds?
He was for sure over 1, at least. Like I said, go on your scale, use your pinky, and push on your counter in your kitchen, on your bathroom counter, whatever, just a tiny bit, and watch a bunch of pounds come off. You know what I mean? Like that's why they make you do like for the most part like same day weigh-ins in jiu-jitsu. First of all, they don't want you to cut like a fucking asshole and then almost kill yourself. But when you go to jiu-jitsu tournaments, you go same day weigh-ins and shit. Like if your coach is standing next to you, they tell them to back the fuck up. I've seen it happen at IBJJF. Not that they were trying to cheat or anything, but they tell the coach and your teammates to back the fuck up. But Aim White Sack was probably like embarrassed shit about it, so they're gonna go after him. But it doesn't really fucking matter. All right. Then the main event, Jorge Masvidal gets the win over Nate Diaz, obviously, and we'll see real quick on the main event again. And I want to go because we're running out of time. But the possibilities for fights with those two guys. I'm gonna go with mine for both guys, and then you guys go. Okay. For Nate, it's either the Jorge rematch or the Conor trilogy. As far as big fights, because that's what he says he wants is big fights only, right? Those two guys. And Dustin Poirier is my dark horse. Okay. For Jorge, it's either the Nate rematch, and in no particular order, mind you. It's either the Nate rematch, or the winner of Usman and Covington, or the Conor fight if Conor gets crazy. What do you guys think?
Damn. Again, I didn't think Conor's name was going to be mentioned. Fred, go. I want to hear Conor's name be uttered again.
Okay, real quick. It's because I want to see Conor take a fucking knee from Masvidal and see if he can take it. That's all I want to see. That's it.
Okay, so if Colby wins, okay, if Colby beats Usman, I think the fight for Jorge is Colby for sure for the welterweight belt. Yeah. I think that's the definite play. Them being the fucking ex-best friends, fighting for the fucking Trump title. I think that fight makes a ton of sense. Mm-hmm. And maybe Usman, maybe you just send Jorge in for the welterweight belt, period, because he's hot as fuck right now, and you know what I mean. Like, might as well, right? How's the baddest motherfucker in the division not the actual baddest motherfucker in the division? But I think if Colby wins, that fight makes a ton of more sense. Mm-hmm. I don't love the Conor fight. I don't think it makes a ton of sense, really. Like, Conor needs to keep his little funny ass at 55. Let's just keep it a buck for real. Nate's interesting. I don't know what you do with Nate. I don't think they're going to do the Jorge rematch. I don't think so either. I don't really even want to entertain that too much because I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Nate should probably go back to 55. So that leaves us with somewhat limited options. I suppose if you wanted to do the Conor trilogy, now would be as good a time as any. It seems like, and this pains me greatly to say, but it seems like we're going to get Conor versus Cowboy.
Yeah,
which really rubs me the wrong way as a Conor fan. I kind of hate that fight. I think it's all risk, no reward, even for Conor. Like, so what if you beat Cowboy?
And what? Yeah.
So, and I one would assume we're getting Tony Ferguson versus Khabib. So if that's the case, I don't really know what I would like to see Nate fight Justin Gaethje and get in line.
That'd be cool
for the winner of Tony Ferguson, Khabib. God forbid one of them gets hurt. I would like to see Nate get plugged in there. I know that would rub people the wrong way if Tony Ferguson got hurt and you tried to plug in Nate versus Khabib. But, blow me. I'm here for it. I think Nate versus Khabib will be a good fight. I think Khabib wins that fight, but Nate's a pushover for nobody. And Nate would present some interesting problems for Khabib. So it is what it is. Like, ideally, maybe Conor versus Nate, but like, again, I think you're going to get Conor versus Cowboy. Yeah. You're not going to get, or maybe even Nate versus Jorge in an ideal world. If we could do it next weekend or something, I would, but like, I just don't think we're going to get that. And again, I think Jorge's, he's heading this way at this point. And I think Jorge should probably just stay at 70 and keep riding that wave. And I think Nate should go to 55.
Right, and real quick, I wouldn't mind if Nate took some time to heal up and shit. And honestly, and I know not a lot of people don't know this, but Nick actually got the surgery because he had the same, almost the exact same cut. But he had some of that scar tissue taken care of. That's why he didn't cut up too bad in his last fight, last couple fights. Yeah, so I mean, who else did that?
Vanderlei did it too. Yeah, Vanderlei, but he looked like a fucking.
He looks weird
freak afterwards. But yeah, he got like all his scar tissue done in one fell swoop. He looked like a fucking.
He looked like someone grabbed the back of his head and put on his back and yanked that shit.
Yeah.
But But I think he needs to take some time and just chill out. And everyone's saying in the comments, there you go.
Yeah.
Dana said no to the Cowboy fight? That's fucking bullshit. Sort of.
This
is good though. If they do this fight,
that's the fight. That's as a Conor fan. That's the fight.
Conor would be sick.
That's the fight that we should see.
And then needs to heal up and get the scar tissue fixed. Agreed.
That's a fact.
Then Naya's having surgery to remove all that scar tissue. I hope he is. Who knows if he will, but I hope he is. And just take some time off, man. Get that knee right, because he did say he came with a knee injury. He couldn't run or something like that last 3 weeks, which is a big part of their game. But yeah. Anyway, Jesse.
So really quick, I think the loser of the Khabib and Okukui fight would be a good matchup for Nate Diaz when he comes back. You said, after he heals up, either one of those two guys would be a great fight, and then maybe the winner of that, for a title. Hopefully, in my idea, that would be Nate Diaz. So 2 fights, to get him back into the title hunt. Of course, that Dustin Poirier fight would always be, a really good fight for Nate Diaz. Masvidal, I really, really think that it's a title shot for him next. So the winner of whoever comes out of that, Colby, Kamal Usman.
God, I hope it's
and yeah, I mean, for the narrative, you want it to be Colby, right?
Yeah,
because then it just makes it so much sweeter if Masvidal is able to take that belt away from him, and really shut him up, maybe knock him out or something, and really put a stamp on that fight.
Yeah, no, fucking. I don't care to see Colby as a champion, but I would love to see Jorge take his belt. That being said, if Colby wins against Usman and takes the title, I guarantee he ducks Jorge. Guaranteed.
I mean, he can't.
He talks a lot, dude. I think he'll duck him. I think he'll duck it.
He can't, can he? Like, as the champion. Yeah.
I mean, he could have another nose surgery or something, right? Or what
was it?
Sinus surgery?
For so long, I guess. Let me ask you this, and I know we gotta get out of here, so I can't be going too crazy with the hypotheticals. But does GSP matter at all for y'all?
No.
Like coming back to 170, does it? Are we just? Are you?
No,
done
sir.
No,
yep, we're done.
Okay.
Not even. I'm kind of done with these guys that get in and out and in and out and in and out. Like, actually the only guy that does that is GSP. Fucking, he's out for years, comes back to beat.
I feel like
Bisping.
At 85, him beating the one-eyed Bisping, y'all can all shove that in your snake hole. But I feel like he was the fucking king at 70, and if he can still make welterweight, I feel like maybe there's a little intrigue there. He's somebody that you can kind of bring out of the woodwork. I don't feel like Kamaru or Colby are necessarily a good. Stylistically, it'd be a good fight for GSP, but that blockbuster fight. But maybe Jorge, and maybe if somehow Jorge ends up with that belt, you can bring OGS dust off of GSP and bring him back for the ultimate. Because to be fair, what are they saying? Boxing linear,
right.
GSP is probably still technically the linear welterweight. I mean, he's the linear fucking middleweight champion, but we all know he definitely don't want no Adesanya smoke for sure. He didn't want no Robert Whittaker smoke. He definitely don't want no Adesanya smoke. But maybe at 170, GSP could be interesting.
I know he said he can make 155. He wants that Khabib fight. I don't care.
I don't want to see him make 55. Make 70. Why would you make 55 when there's perfectly good undefeated challengers?
70. Perfect.
Yeah. Fuck.
Colby
undefeated? Is Colby undefeated?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sure.
No.
Look, Fred. I agree with you. At this point, we're done with GSP. I think the only interesting fight, honestly, for GSP that would only bring GSP back is the Khabib fight, and it's not even that interesting, right? Because I think Khabib would run through him. So at this point, GSP is kind of like one of those legendary guys, right? Like, people whisper about how good he was back in the day, and the newbies, the newcomers, they're not going to know about that era of GSP. They're just going to hear about it and be like, I guess he must have been good, but that's about it. I think his time has passed.
Okay,
right.
Fair enough.
All right, just finish up some comments and we check the some late headlines here. Dan said interview that no talks have happened for Conor versus Cowboy. Well, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
I just getting him a fight, just a fight, but I would prefer Gaethje. Justin will fuck up that lead leg of Conor's possible. Who's ready for KSI Logan Paul this weekend?
Oh yeah.
Shoot me a fucking stream and I might watch that.
Yeah. Nate was supposed to be a giant against Conor. Well, yeah, he was like 10 times his size or 20 times, whatever Conor kept saying. I'll hate to watch that fight, Quentin, but I'm excited for Inoue versus Donaire tomorrow morning.
Yeah, because remember, there's an actual boxing championship being decided in the undercard of that KSI Logan Paul fight.
Fuck! I don't know who those two guys are, but fuck them. All right, I want to see some real. If he's gonna be boxing, I see some real shit.
You know what? We almost forgot to mention how boxing was on hold for the main event, right?
That was my next thing right here, but let me finish the comments.
Okay.
They're supposed to fight at 7:25 Eastern time, and I'm gonna work early so I can watch it. Okay. And then fuck. What was I gonna say? Fucking hell. All right, real quick before we talk about boxing versus MMA. Watching Nick Diaz walk out with Nate to me was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I was hoping he was gonna corner him, but he didn't. I was hoping, but whatever. But him walking out with him was the shit. I don't know if you guys seen that fucking video from backstage when they because when Nate was walking out, he was like waiting. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Well, there's a video from the back from the background or whatever from the backstage that I actually tweeted on I put on Twitter, and no one had told him to go. So then someone goes, "Hey guys, you gotta go. You're running out of time." And then Nick and Nate both look at him like, "Bitch." And then Nate goes, "Nobody said go," and he just started going. Anyway, but that was just my thing. Anyway,
I want to see Nick fight again.
Me too. Just one more time. I just want to see one more fight from him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not how old is he? 35, 36?
36?
My age. He's not 36. That old. I mean, he's there, but
he hasn't been fighting, so he's not like he's worn down.
I'd like to see Nick take a fight, man.
Just one more fight, man. That's all.
Look, I agree with you guys if he wants to.
If he wants to. But
sure.
Right. Yeah, if he wants to and he's in on it, fuck it. Let's give him one more fight.
Oh wow.
Wow.
There we go. That was fun.
Awesome. You know what though? I think.
Go ahead.
You're good. Yeah.
I think it was kind of better that Nick didn't corner Nate, because you know how emotional he gets, and him being in his corner. I think the last time the towel was thrown in was that fight, right, where Nick Diaz threw in the towel for his brother. So I think he wanted to keep himself out of that fight, knowing that it was going to be kind of a blood fight. I think he made the right decision.
Good point. Yep.
Nick versus Dan Hardy. Why not?
Oh shit, I'm here for it.
Yeah. All right. So the other thing, the biggest story besides obviously UFC 244, and then we got like 6 minutes or so to talk about this, but boxing was mega pissed, right? So they held up Canelo versus Kovalev for about an hour and a half, waiting for the Diaz Masvidal fight to end. Not only that, MGM Grand contacted Dana White and the UFC asking for permission to air the fight for their in the arena. And Dana's like, yeah, sure. Dana just fucking super owned Oscar De La Hoya twice. That made me so happy. I was like, fuck you, Oscar. But Fred, you're the one who wanted to make sure we bring this up. What do you think?
I just want to make sure we touched on it. And listen, I think so there's a few things here. I think it's easy to look at this and be like, okay, boxing fucked up, right? Mm-hmm. Boxing completely showed their hand and showed that like they MMA is. And look, this was Canelo Alvarez. This wasn't like some random fucking Danny Jacobs fucking, Pacquiao, whatever the fuck. Like, this was Canelo's their fucking Mayweather right now. This is arguably, if not the biggest star in boxing or combat sports, maybe even. Like, Canelo's fucking huge, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
For them to make them wait because of this fight says a lot about MMA and boxing. But here's my opinion on this, right? Like, it sucks as a boxing fan because you're kind of taking up the tailpipe and you're admitting that MMA has surpassed boxing overall. But it was the right call. It was the right decision. I watched fucking Canelo versus the Russian prick. Kovalev. Is he Russian? Ukrainian?
Something like that.
Yeah, some Eastern prick. I would not have watched if it would have been going on during the bad motherfucker title. So you're agreeing with me right now, Eddie. So that's two of us in this small but city. Surely there were thousands of people like that. Maybe fucking millions of us that were watching that fight. So ultimately they made the right call. Now,
Right.
for those poor saps in the building and Canelo and them, if I'm Canelo, I'd be like, y'all got me all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah.
Y'all got me all kinds of fucked up. Y'all better open the fucking gates. If I'm Canelo, you, Dana White, Nate Diaz, all y'all suck my fucking ginger Mexican cock. I'm fighting right. I'm goddamn Canelo. Fuck all that.
Right.
But for DAZN and everybody else, and for the numbers, they did make the right call. Like if everybody was watching this other fight, man. That's just a fact. What the fuck? So, but it was cool that boxing had to give us that moment.
Took a back seat.
They had to. Actually, to be fair, they didn't have to, but they made the smart, calculated decision to swallow their pride and do the right thing for the numbers. Which, to be fair, to give MMA a little credit, we would have never done that.
No, hell no.
You know why? I don't give a fuck. Canelo, Floyd, goddamn with the Super Bowl, all y'all can do whatever y'all. Now, the UFC will avoid dates.
Yeah,
they avoid New Year's Eve every year. Like
they avoid that.
They will.
They avoid NBA Finals. They avoid.
Yeah. They're not. But if they go on that night, goddamn it, 10 o'clock the pay-per-view starts. Motherfucking 11:30, the main event gets rolling. I don't give a fuck what else is happening on Earth. Right. They are not making the motherfuckers in the arena wait and then show the event. Now that was questionable. I get why they did it, but woo, that makes y'all look bad. Y'all played the fight on the Jumbotron. What the fuck? If I'm Canelo, boy, I would be pissed.
Dude, guess who's tuning into the next Masvidal or DS fight? Those fuckers in the arena that watch these two dudes go to hell, go to fucking war. But
they did that too because they were holding the fighters back, right? And everybody in the crowd was getting restless and they didn't want anybody to leave or start doing anything. So they were like, watch what we're waiting for. Which Fred, what you're saying is great, right? Like they didn't have to, right? And I mean, honestly, with all the national anthems and all the antics before the fight, I think they could have started all that stuff and they still probably wouldn't have started the fight before, that main event ended, but whatever. Right. That's nor here or there.
Yeah, look, man, fucking what I've seen is a lot of these boxing pundits and promoters and a lot of boxers themselves. Man, we took a fucking L to MMA and all that shit. I'm like, dude, first of all, who gives a fuck? The viewers, the fans won big time because just like Fred, I knew I was watching, Nate and Jorge, and I knew I was watching Canelo Kovalev. I was a little late to the Kovalev one or the Canelo fight, but I got there with 2-3 rounds before Kovalev got knocked the fuck out. But dude, we won as fans. We won.
Allegedly.
That was a big win to us. What do you mean allegedly? Fuck you, dude. Come on. You gonna get hit with that kind of check hook and not go to sleep? Get the fuck out of here. Kovalev was rocked with the left and then the right hand to the fucking chin. Boom, game over.
No, I'm just saying. I see all the boxing heads out there. Oh, it was staged. It was staged. Nobody falls like that. Sure.
Nobody falls like that. Bitch, let's get in the ring with Canelo and see if you don't fall like that, you stupid fuck. Jesus Christ. God damn it. Why are we pretending
they're allowed to fall, Jack? You get knocked out, you fall in some weird way. Like, what the fuck? You're judging how he fell?
These fuckers talking like they're talking about UFOs, man.
It's the same, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, I appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. I'm all fucked. I'm sick of shit right now, so I took a little bit of Dayquil for the show, and I'm still look like I'm high as fuck right now. And I might be from the Dayquil, but that's about it. Anyway, all right. Let me look at the headlines real quick. Last second.
Real quick while you're doing that. Congratulations to our boys over at Combate Americas. They inked a deal with Access TV and Fight Network to be the English language North American broadcast for
35 events.
35 events next year. So awesome that they're doing their thing, man. Expanding and putting on events where people can see them. So that's awesome.
Josh Barnett, Bellator debut set December 20th. Ronnie Marks.
He's still fighting?
Yeah, I'll watch it. I like Josh Barnett.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed watching Josh Barnett. He's just a fucking cool dude. And then the other one that I laughed at, it was a headline everywhere. Jeff Nowitzki confirms that Greg Hardy's not allowed to use his inhaler at UFC Moscow. I'm like, you needed that shit confirmed, motherfuckers. Like, come on, man. This is a joke. Anyway, all right, folks. Anything else you guys want to bring up before we get out of here?
Nope.
Yeah. This month is pancreatic cancer month.
Right.
So, and it affects men more than women. So guys get health checks regularly. And Epstein didn't kill himself.
Epstein did not kill himself. And then real quick, sorry.
Your fucking opinion for all of me, that motherfucker hung itself, Jack. I agree with what y'all say.
Yeah. Appreciate it there, Tony. Appreciate it, man. Canelo's a monster. Who should we fight next? I don't know, dude. And the next Russian cat on the line.
Yeah, the sad thing is I don't really. Triple G.
I guess.
I don't know enough of boxing really. What's really left for Canelo there?
Yeah. All right. And then very quickly here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 UFC events left in this year, but the next one this weekend. I forgot to talk about it. UFC Moscow is a beat Magomed Sharipov against Calvin Cater. And then Volkov against Greg Hardy, who's stepping in. I think Greg Hardy's stepping in on last or short notice. Real quick on those two. Pick the Hardy fight and pick the Zabit fight, Fred.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna go with the fucking Russians, right? Like I would assume Zabit should win. He's the fucking heir apparent, and goddamn Volkov better win. He better not get slept by Greg Hardy on his own fucking soil. I guess anything can happen to heavyweight, but I would assume Zabit and Volkov, especially in Moscow. Come on, shit.
Yeah. All right, Jesse.
I think Cater's gonna surprise everybody, and that's it. I'm not picking the other fight.
Right. I'm going Volkov Zabit. All right, and then here's a good one. War should come out of retirement. That would be a dope fight. Would be a dope fight, but I don't.
I mean, that's all.
After watching Andre Ward and the Rogan Experience, I'm like, nah, I'd like Ward to stay out, just chill out.
True, but that is like the only sexy name out there for Canelo at this point.
Oh, dude, ELC coming in last second. We're about to end right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Damn. There's like 3 or 4 people that are like tag in the tweets. The ones that always not always, but seem to forget. So I give them a little reminder we're going live. I'm sorry. Next time.
Yep.
All right. He's going Hardy and Qatar. QC said. Boom. Damn. All right. Shout out to everyone that tuned in tonight. Uncle Hank was here. Tony hanging out the whole night. Jeremiah was here. Fight for Your Right MMA. Daniel Rodriguez is here. ELC just showed up here at the end. QC. What else we got? There's a whole bunch of people. I'm probably been in it missing 3 or 4 people.
Oh, you know what, Eddie? What? And also, if anybody still wants to join our to the Darklands challenge, we're doing 100 miles this month.
Get your shit fixed first. We don't need you dead.
I'm still doing it.
All right.
Not stopping me.
Yeah, I'm only 3 miles in. I'm supposed to run 6 miles. I'm supposed to run 6, and 6 is Saturday and Sunday. So I'm hoping to be at that 15-mile mark by Monday. But we'll see, man. I'm already behind. I already feel like I'm super behind. All right. Anyway, and then that's gonna be it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick. I already forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, go to the UFC Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. There is a photo of the of a person of interest in the Anya Blanchard disappearance. If you go to their Instagram, there's a fella on there with a camel looking hoodie. If you guys are in the Auburn area or know anyone in the Auburn area and you have any idea who this dude is, call the phone number on there, please. This is the saddest fucking crazy story. And anyone that's got kids, and I know it's all 3 of us, this is our worst nightmare. So, all right, folks, y'all have a good night. We'll catch you guys next week. Good night and good night, Wilshire.